Hello and welcome to DX Report Basic Training. My name is Thomas Veen and this is the April 2011 edition for our live meeting. Topics we will be covering are what are DX reports, how they interact with eoStar, the different types of DX reports, how to add them to eoStar, how to work in the canvas, the different field types contained within them, and how to import pre-made DX reports. What are DX reports? DX layouts are report building tools. They're visual representations of data you're bringing in from your reports or your SQL queries. And they're very similar to Crystal reports, but they are a lot more flexible and do not require a third-party application to customize. eoStar has three different areas to attach these DX layouts, and that's in ION reports, SQL queries, or in ticket formats. The first of these areas is in ION. Under File ION Reports, the DX report will reflect layout user has currently active at the time. All exposed fields, customers, products, information contained in the ION report will be reflected in the DX layout. If saved with a specific ION layout, this layout will need to be used in the future when viewing the DX format. The DX Format tab will list all relevant DX formats and their associated ION layouts when applicable. To find DX within ION reports, I would go to File ION Report, choose my desired report and desired layout, and select the DX Formats tab. As we can see here, there are different DX formats assigned to different ION layouts that we can choose via the Load Layout option. The second area within eoStar would be attached to a SQL query. This can be found under Records, Report Records. The DX report will reflect all of the data that the SQL query retrieves. What you would normally see in a grid form in results when running the report, you can build these results into a customizable DX format. This is much more user-friendly as well as viewer-friendly. To find this within eoStar, I would go to Records, Report, Records, select my desired SQL query, and then find the DX tab. The third area within eoStar is the ticket format. Under Records, Reports, DX Layouts, ticket formats are prepackaged sets of data for transactions within eoStar. They are invoices, purchase orders, pick lists, pallets, or transfers. Normally anything you would print out of a tracker. These can be set as defaults for the formats within Database Administration Configure and their corresponding panel. To find the ticket formats in eoStar, I would go to Records, Reports, DX Layouts, and select the corresponding dataset. These ticket formats will also be available under File Print Report and can be set as the defaults for your invoices or purchase orders under File, Database Administration Configure, and affecting the corresponding panel. To create or add DX formats to eoStar, in ION, SQL, and ticket formats, there is the DX window when selecting the DX Formats tab that will have a Customize button in the top left of the toolbar. This is called the golden wrench. As we saw in ION reports, the DX tab, golden wrench, was just in the window where the ION results would normally show. In SQL reports, select my desired report, click the SQL panel, and have the DX Format tab and the Customize button right on the DX toolbar in the top left. And for the ticket formats, I would use the Records, Report, DX layout. Since I'm going straight to the layout here, I would just select my layout, design panel, and the Customize golden wrench button is right there. Now I will bring up a SQL query for an example to attach a DX layout to and create one via the canvas. This particular query is going to be bringing in some basic customer ticket information, and I'm going to be running the report for the prior quarter. This query looks like it returned 975 lines of data as well as a number of columns to organize into a DX layout, so I've got a lot to work with. I'm going to access the DX canvas by clicking on the golden wrench under the DX Format tab now that I have run my SQL report. And here we have our DX canvas. The first thing I want to point out is the left panel of the screen, which contains all of your report tools. It's going to have your column labels, your lines, your picture objects, as well as page numbers. And you also have your toolbar along the top side for customization options. And you can see that already looks a lot like Microsoft Word or Excel. The panel on the far left next to the report tools with the icons is going to be the same thing as the report tools with the actual links on them. They serve the same purpose, but just for detail's sake, I'm going to leave the report tools box open. The next area I would like to point out is the report layout. This is going to be the customization window itself where you build the report. In it is the report header and footer, which you can customize to show certain information at the top of the first page of your report and at the bottom of the last page, like a report summary. It also has the page header and footer, which operates a lot like Microsoft Word does, where you can have information at the top of every page, like column names or another shorter version of the report header, as well as at the foot of every page where you can have page numbers or running page summaries. The next is the detail, and this is going to be the meat of your report. Where I had 975 lines returned in my SQL report, these are going to be what's displayed in the detail line, and I can customize this information to be displayed in pretty much any way I'd like. And that is going to be this middle panel right here. Now in this, I can add my report header and footer, put in separate page headers, and also group headers. All I would need to do is simply right-click, select Insert Band, and I have my options right here in front of me. And the user will also want to keep in mind that these are set up exactly how they will be returned on the finalized report. Now where I have a lot of white space in each of these bands, I will want to close this up because all of these margins and white space will show up on my finished report. And lastly, we have our right panel, which is going to show us all of our different field lists and the properties for each of the fields that we're using in our report.